That's look. This is my solo show. I don't got the other intro, but what's popping? What's popping? Shout out to everybody, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, click the bell notification, do all that. Share the stream as you come in. I hope everybody doing good with the snow and things of that nature. You know, I gotta get this ad out the way. Let's talk about it. This program is brought to you by Scott McNair Injury Lawyers. Have you been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, hurt offshore? Scott Bickner will handle it all. Give them a call, y'all, at 504-500-1111 for a free, yes, free consultation. They always fight for the win. Yo, 920 my time. The thing, I see, it be messing me up, bro. I ain't scheduled an episode in so long. I forgot that it's always Eastern time zone. So when I say a time, I be meaning my time. So my bad. But what up with y'all, man? What up with y'all? Shout out to Corey. Shout out to 504. Yeah, see 504. Get it? Flight Blizzard. What up? What's that? Everybody, Malik. What's popping? What's popping, man? How y'all doing with the snow? Everybody staying safe? Whoa, what's happening, Lito? We got the big dog in the building. Uptown's finest. What's happening? Shout out to our dog, Lito. What's popping? What's popping, big dog? Chaz, you forgot where you came. Nah, yo, I ain't gonna lie, boy. It ain't a real difference, but boy, I ain't nothing like Central Time Zone. I ain't gonna lie, especially when they do a West Coast road trip. Game be at 1 a.m, son. I be like, no, I can't do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it, dog. Like I'm a professional, but nah. Hakeem, what's happening with your Shaqzilla, Mello, Adam Stevens, Game Osborne, what's popping? What's up with y'all, man? How y'all doing? Hope y'all staying warm. Yo, I'm telling y'all, don't play on the roads out there. You look, speaking of playing on the roads, Jeff Whitey, don't play on the roads out there. I'm telling y'all, that ice is serious. The ice is serious. Like when y'all say y'all was getting a snowstorm, I ain't know what to expect. But nah, it's real. From what I see, that's the real snow. So don't play. You know what I'm saying? Y'all chill out in the squad. I got y'all back. I ain't gonna leave y'all with the creepy dude. You know what I'm saying? Trying to sell y'all spark plugs and stuff. You know, I can't curse in the first couple of minutes or whatever. But we're gonna have a good show tonight. We're gonna have a good show. Make sure y'all smash the like button. Look, smash the like button because I know y'all don't want to see this. I know y'all do not want to have to deal with this. So consider that your first warning. Consider that your first warning. Say the snow still ain't going away. They ain't treated. They ain't even treat the roads. They had like a week notice and they ain't treat the roads. You say, well, melt snow cause a flood. Nah. Snow melts very slowly, especially if the roads ain't treated. It's probably gonna be about 1 inch to 2 inches of snow. I mean ice beneath the snow. But yeah, it gets real. I'm telling y'all, out here it get real. I'm hoping there ain't gonna be no blizzard or nothing like that. So it's crazy. They flew the Bucks in. The Bucks, they must have thought they was flying into a different state or a different city. They thought they was flying somewhere competent because they flew the Bucks in, and the Bucks like, oh, wait a minute, we can't play. It was like, no, it ain't like nobody was gonna be in the arena anyway. But they might can't even make the bus. The bus probably wouldn't make it to the arena. But yo, man, we're gonna talk about it. I'm sure y'all seen now Jimmy Butler. He got suspended again. They should have been suspended him for his hair, but they suspended him this time for missing the flight. You know what I'm saying? They finally put their foot down. And it's funny, right after that, Chris Haynes came out along with Bradley Beal's agent, and they both echoed like, yo, we don't have no intentions on going to the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Milwaukee Bucks, they like, that's pretty much something that's been pulled out of thin air. There's no real traction to that deal. And the Milwaukee Bucks would have to do a lot just to even make that happen. They would have to find someone to take on Pat Connaughton's contract. That's about $9 million. Then you got to convince. You're looking at maybe giving up who you probably giving up Chris Middleton and Bobby Portis. Now you can say Chris Middleton barely plays, but Bradley Beal barely plays either. And you're giving up Bobby Portis, who plays all the time. So I don't know. I just can't see Beal going to Milwaukee, bro. Like I'm out here in the DMV. I can't believe they gave Bradley Beal that deal. I ain't gonna lie. A no trade clause? That's crazy. Tennessee, what's popping, Tennessee? He said, what do you think of the Suns Utah deal? I like it. I like it. I think they gave themselves more ammo. They gave themselves more ammo for deals moving forward. In the event that they do find a taker for Bradley Beal, they're gonna have to grease some palms, pause. They're gonna have to, pay someone to take on the contract, and they're gonna have to trade that first in the event that they bring someone back. So they may be sending out multiple firsts. And that 1 first and 31. Shout out to Danny Ainge, but that's Danny Ainge really, really banking on the Phoenix Suns just being terrible. And it ain't that far-fetched. It really ain't that far-fetched. But if you're the Phoenix Suns, you got to imagine that if Devin Booker not there no more, he's older at this point. Kevin Durant probably not in the league no more. Bill probably out the league, so they gonna be full into their rebuild mode, but you don't really know what assets that they might have acquired via trading Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant, this probably his last year with the Suns. I think if they get Jimmy Butler, they probably gonna run it back to back, just see what happened. But this probably Kevin Durant last year, probably Booker last year. If they don't get homeboy with the weave. Why I'm blanking on this man's name? Jimmy Butler. He say Javonte Green on the block. Yeah, I believe so. I believe they could get a second round pick for Javonte. Now, here's the messed up part though. Dallas had a lot of interest in Javonte Green, just like they had interest in Herb, but with Derek Lively being out, and they got a crazy injury list. Like, because they was looking at to moving Gafford, but with Derek Lively being out, more than likely Gafford is staying, right? So I almost wonder, do they pivot to try to get another 5, maybe, or do they still try to get that quote unquote wing defender who is Javonte Green? His defense is way overrated too. Shout out to Jay Knapp, man. Shout out to Justin Napoli, snowed in like everybody else, man. Yo, Tennessee, you right. They can use, what they need? I said to myself, myself said, y'all need Daniel Tice. They need Daniel Tice over there. Daniel Tice, defensive stalwart, just a monster on the boards, 3-point threat, gets rebounds. He looks like prime Rodman on the boards. They need Daniel Tice in Dallas, and it only gonna cost them a second round pick. Hurry up and trade for him before I change my mind. Second round pick, man. But shout out to everybody in here, man. Like, on the real, I do hope y'all staying safe and not joking and playing around on that road, because it gets real. It gets real. Shout out to Shane, man. CJ on the move. Yo, I think so, bro. And I really think so. And that's the thing that kind of got me a little aggravated about the Utah game, because I'm like, look, why don't you just do what Utah doing? Just don't play CJ in the fourth quarter, or just play him for a couple minutes in the fourth and take him out, because ultimately CJ isn't a part of the team's future. I think you can find a contender to give you a protected first round for CJ. I think a team I think the Pistons make the absolute most sense. Got Trajan Langdon there. He's worked with CJ. He knows how much of a professional CJ is. He knows how much CJ is willing to change his game. He knows how CJ is a mentor in the locker room. They got salary space where they would only have to send maybe Tim Hardaway and a protected first back to make the salary work, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? And like Jaden Ivey just went down. So, it would make a lot of sense. 504 deal. You say the Magic or you, CJ? I think so too. But here's the thing with that though. If you the Magic, would you rather CJ or Simons? Simons is younger, right? Now CJ contract is starting to decline, and he's a professional, got some playoff experience, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm gonna go for it, why would I use? Because they're gonna have to trade like 5 or 6 players to get CJ anyway. Well, maybe not 5 or 6. Maybe say like 3 or 4 players to get CJ anyway, right? So you're talking about possibly getting a third team involved. So if I'm gonna do that, if I'm gonna trade Goga if I'm gonna trade maybe Anthony Black, if I'm gonna trade Cole Anthony, I might as well go for the dude who got potentially some upside and Simons versus, homie CJ, who, and CJ, he hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? But it depends. It's all about the cost of doing business. If CJ is gonna cost you a second or two, and Simons will cost you multiple first, you probably just go ahead and bite the bullet with CJ. Me, Monk, you say CJ to the Spurs. I don't hate it. Only thing with the Spurs, though, the Spurs they don't really have a wing. Like Keldon Johnson, he's not playing bad, but he's not having the year they anticipated him having. And then you got Devin Vassell. He's coming along slowly, and they probably want to open minutes for Castle, who's really balling right now. You know what I'm saying? So if you're the Spurs, you got Chris Paul, you got Castle, you got Devin Vassell, and you're gonna bring in CJ. I don't know. Now, the deal in that situation would possibly be, I don't think the Pelicans will want Harrison Barnes in this instance. But let's say Keldon Johnson and Nick Collins for CJ. I think that's enough to make the money work. Keldon and Nick Collins. Me, I take them. I do the deal. Take them. Because you get you a backup center. You get to kick the can. You know what I'm saying? Kick the can with some tradable salary moving forward. You could look at Keldon as a reclamation project. The only thing about Keldon Johnson, though, is that he wasn't really eager to come off the bench in San Antonio. So I can only imagine how he would act here. But at the same time, in San Antonio, he might say, yo, nobody better than me. There's no reason for me to come off the bench. So I would respect his mind with that. Shout out to Donald, man. Donald say, you said, Donald? You said Jeremy Sohan. I can't tolerate a Jeremy Sohan on this team. I couldn't do it. When we had the draft, I was like, Dyson annoys me, but I would stop watching the team, period, if they drafted Jeremy Sohan. I don't like the way Jeremy Sohan laughs. I don't like his hair. I don't like how he runs on the court. I don't like nothing about him. I don't like anything about him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he disrespecting Rodman number. I just don't like. He was talking about somebody. I think he was joking about Russell Westbrook, and he called him Westbrook, right? And it wasn't the joke that got me, because I can appreciate a good joke. It's the way he laughed. He laughed like this. I'm like, nah, nowhere near my locker room. Nowhere near my locker room. Hell no. I don't want that toxicity in my building. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Let's see what y'all talking about here, man. I think the Spurs make a lot of sense for Brandon also. Really, probably make the most sense, honestly. You got Chris Paul, who, at this point, Chris Paul has been on, quote unquote, his last leg at least 3 times, right? When he was traded to OKC, people was like, oh, Chris Paul washed up, prove them wrong. Traded to Houston, like that last couple years in Houston, Chris Paul washed up, proved them wrong. Right now he's in San Antonio. Chris Paul washed up, he's proven them wrong. I think Chris Paul was also like the voice that got to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and took him to the next level before he, carried the torch and stepped it up on his own. I think Brandon would fit very well in that situation. But see, one thing I said about this, and I don't know if it went over some people's heads, pause, but this is real. Yo, you see how Phoenix feels right now with the Bradley Beal situation? How they like, man, we can't get rid of this dude. Homie got a no trade clause, and he ain't just got the no trade clause. He got the no trade clause, and he like, so and what you gonna do about it? Y'all got to talk to me. I hold the cards. Like, this is what he said, right? Mind you, this man spent 11 years with the Wizards. He don't care nothing about no winning. It's just the fact that he got the no trade clause and he just flexing. He ain't tripping on winning. He just flexing, right? Brandon essentially has a no trade clause because he could easily tell a team, no, I'm not re-signing there. I'm not going to do it, right? Which is kind of what allegedly happened with Utah, depending on whose version of the story you believe, right? So, because you got some people say Brandon shut it down, you got other people say it wasn't even close. Like it was just, preliminary talks. So Flight Mazak say Brandon Kapasha. Yeah, he could lie. He could lie and be like, yeah, I like the situation here. Let's do it. Like it could be a Siakam situation where you trade for him and you just going for the playoffs. You trying to get Wemby that playoff experience, the 10th seed within reach, and you just, hey, you putting your cards on the table. Worst case scenario, he walks as a free agent. Man, you got a little cap space. You know what I'm saying? It's San Antonio, but that San Antonio is a place that all they got to do is they sign role players and just extract value from the role players. They ain't really tripping on no home run swings. But with Wemby advancing as quickly as he is already, and you already got a team full of like veterans, and you got a couple high paid guys in Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell, that makes me think that they might say, fuck it, why not? Let's just see what happens. Like, you know what I'm saying? Again, worst case scenario, you let homie walk. Young Weezy, you say CJ to the Warriors. Who would they give us, you think? I think you could get Buddy Hield. You might be able to get Pods. Pods hurt right now, but I think you get Buddy Hield. Maybe Wiggins and Pods. Because Buddy Hield's been terrible. But I don't think you're getting any draft assets in that trade. But I know for sure you're getting Buddy Hield, maybe Gary Payton Jr., Pods, maybe because Pods hurt right now. See, the thing with CJ is CJ was making $20 million. Man, CJ probably gone already, bro. That's the sad part about how the CBA is operating right now with the CJs, with the Brandons, with players like that, is because like right now, no player in the league who's been traded thus far it has made over $20 million, if I'm not mistaken. So with those players, you have to attach a lot of different players to that trade to make it work. And if you're the Warriors, yeah, Gary Payton Jr. ain't really depth. Pods ain't even playing, and when he was playing, he wasn't good. Buddy Hield stinking up the joint. But you like, damn, that's 3 players. For one, we're gonna have to get some more people in the building. So it would have to be a team, not the Lakers, but like the Lakers, a team that's like, we can just sign a couple minimum guys and round out the roster. We'll be fine. If it was like the old Steph Curry from like 2-3 years ago, I think they feel more confident doing that versus like now, Let's see what y'all talking about. He said, Brad Ford said, I can't understand us not being able to move Brandon and CJ. A lot of it is the money. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when the Scoot Henderson shit was popping off, and I was like, bro, you got to move Brandon now. With the Scoot Henderson thing, like, I was making sure to say that, look, I want Brandon to get a ton of money. I want you to get as much money as possible. I just don't want you to get it here. I just don't want you to fuck up my team, like the team I support. So I want you to go. I want you to go down the street and go fuck their heads up. Don't fuck up my team. So that was the issue with the contract, because it ain't just the money. Brandon also barely plays. So that's another thing. And he's literally out right now. Whereas with CJ, I think CJ just turned 33. He might be going on 34. See, I think CJ is no longer a negative asset. He's probably a neutral asset. Whereas Brandon is probably a negative asset. But CJ is probably a neutral asset, but it's still the money. It's matching $33 million because it's a team. Again, a team's over the salary cap. So the Pelicans not going to take on like a $36 million contract unless they can pair CJ with other players and get beneath the tax. Because that's another thing. You got to get under the luxury tax. Now, this is something I don't like. This is something I'm thinking about, right? With the DeJounte Murray situation being set up the way it is, and what I mean by that is, with the DeJounte Murray contract being the way it is if DeJounte Murray misses one more game, he loses a bonus incentive. So the Pelicans will only be about, shout out to my dog Ryan. What's poppin', Ryan? Would be about only roughly 800 G's above the luxury tax line. So in their mind, they probably like, well, we only about 800,000 over this tax line. We can kind of move anybody. Like we could just move one minimum guy. Move Daniel Tice, you move JRE, whatever. You duck the tax. Cool. But you also got to sign Brandon Boston to a real contract. So keep in mind, you got to sign Boston to a contract and you got to get beneath the luxury tax. And I don't think Boston's going to get a minimum contract. I think Boston might get a contract maybe a little more than JRE. Like, I think JRE getting like 2.2. So Boston might get like 2.4 because he's with Clutch. And he played well earlier this season. So I think they're gonna at least give him 2.4, 2.5, maybe even 3 million. So you got to be on the lookout for that. So the Pelicans need multiple moves, truthfully. That's why I think a lot of people was looking at Jordan Hawkins like, you might be the odd man out because you getting about 5 G's. So both Donald and Spectacular Insight, shout out to Spectacular Insight. Both of y'all had some interesting proposals. You say Spectacular Insight, you say CJ to the Bulls for LaVine. The salary wouldn't work in that Spectacular Insight because the Pelicans don't have enough mid salary. They don't even have enough like smaller salary contracts to make that work because Brandon and LaVine have trade kickers. So it would have to be Brandon because Brandon's trade kicker bumps him up to about 41 million, if I'm not mistaken. So you could just add a minimum guy to that and trade for LaVine. That's if LaVine is willing to move his trade kicker. If not, I think you would have to probably add Hawkins or something like that. I think LaVine, his trade kicker is like about the same percentage as Brandon. I think like 5%, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so it would probably be about the same. Donald, you say Jeremy Grant for CJ. Now that I ain't gonna hold you. I do that deal. I do that deal, dog. Because even with the situation now, but see, that's the thing though, bro. They gonna feel like they gotta send CJ to a winning situation. They gonna feel like they gotta send CJ to a winning situation. That's what they gonna. That's how the Pelicans gonna feel, and they not wrong. They should send them to a winning situation. Man, dog, Portland they didn't want nothing to do with Brandon this offseason, dog. Like again, Brandon would just make more sense because he's a big wing, sharp. You got Scoot, you got I think Ayton probably on his way out the door, and you still got Deeney. So I don't know if they would want either one of those guys. I think Portland's probably trying to be sellers. Truthfully, they're probably looking for picks on the real because they just didn't want. They didn't really want too much to do with BI. Truthfully, he would be say true. Dave Moore, you think he out of here? I think he out of here too. Me Monk, do you think Jose have any value? Yeah, I do. Because Jose's reputation kind of precedes him. So I think he got some value. I think there's a team out there that's looking for like toughness. Jose can shoot the three. He can defend even for his size. Now, Jose misses a lot of games. And I think Jose's contract was designed. Yeah, he deserved the raise also. But I think his contract was also designed to like, yo, we need a little salary so we can attach and trade. Because keep in mind, again, Jose barely plays. So you still need a backup point guard. Like you saw what happened when DeJounte went down. So DeJounte and Jose goes down. You ain't got no point guard at all. That's why you calling up Elfrid Payton. And when Elfrid Payton was here, keep it real. Elfrid Payton, did he outplay Jose or did he not? Like, it was motherfucker had like 20 assists. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog, Michael Roby in the building. He said, good show. What would it take to get Booker? He's from close by at Moss Point. Maybe he want to play closer to home. That's a great question. We're going to answer that after these messages.
Charles is my name. Jarrell Curl is my fame.
Yo, y'all say what y'all want. That shit fire. Y'all can say what y'all want. That shit is cold. That shit is fire. Y'all talk with y'all, man, whatever. Y'all talk with y'all want to talk. That shit cold. That shit is cold. But yo, Michael, he think coke and curls. Yo, Durrell Charles, yo, imagine that commercial coming out right now. Boy, that shit cold. But Michael Roby, I think going into the off season, that's where it gets interesting, right? Now, let's just presume you're talking about 3 picks off the dump. 3 picks, right? 3 to 4 picks. Now, the trouble you're going to run into is matching salary. That's why it's very important that they do at least a solid Brandon Ingram deal to where they get back some tradable salary, i.e. a Keldon Johnson or Harrison Barnes, whatever, right? Isaiah Stewart, whatever. Because you're going to fall into a situation where you absolutely need to match salary. That's why it's not as simple as just how people try to make it simple, like, oh, just let Brandon walk. It's like you can, but you can't, because you're not going to just get that $36 million in cap space. Like that's not how that really works. But oh man, shout out to Games Osborne, man. Make sure y'all smashing the like button, man. We got 111 in here. Smash the like button, family. Smash the like button. Smash that joint. Pause. That sounded crazy. That's one too many smashes. But one too many smashes. You got to know what the line is. But back to Michael Roby's question. Let's say this is hypothetical, but let's say you got Herb. Herb is automatically in that deal. If Hawkins is still on the team, Hawkins is in that deal. Then possibly, if I'm not mistaken, possibly you can aggregate a sign and trade to the Phoenix Suns. If I'm not mistaken, if you can't do that, then if you hold on to CJ's contract, maybe you attach Herb and 3 or 4 picks to CJ. At that point, though, you're like, the Phoenix Suns are rebuilding, right? Keep in mind, the Phoenix Suns are rebuilding. They don't own their own picks. They don't own their own future picks. So they would be looking for a pick-centric package to come back so they could, at least try to rebuild at a lower cost. That's also one of the reasons why I think that a deal with the Pelicans is not very likely for Brandon. I'm sorry, I say for Brandon, but for Devin Booker, because I think that's Houston. Houston owns the Rockets picks. I'm sorry, Houston owns Phoenix's picks. So they're gonna get first dibs at the Brandon Booker deal. And Devin Booker would fit perfectly. Like he would fit perfectly. Like you get to replace. And they got all the salary. They got a bunch of young dudes. They got Reed Shepherd. They got Jabari Smith. They got Cam Whitmore. They got guys they could just be like, all right, look, you out of here. And they got salary and like Fred VanVleet. Like they got a lot of avenues to make that deal happen, man. And they got they can just say, look, we're gonna give you Fred VanVleet and Reed Shepherd and all your picks back. Give us Devin Booker. And I think the Suns gonna be like, let's do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Shout out to my dog Yahan. You say, man, Hot Taste is back. If BI walks, then what do we do with what do we have remaining as a result of the AD trade? Fire David Griffin. All right. That's a great point. Shout out to you. All right, check this out. Let's look at the tab. You got Trey Murphy. All right, you got Trey Murphy. You got DeJounte. If CJ's on the team, you still got CJ. So, see, that deal was more of a wash than people, not you. I'm saying, like, even myself, I didn't realize how much of a wash that deal was because the Lakers fans don't really respect the bubble ring. So now what makes it fucked up, Jan, is that you could have had Garland. You could have had Therese Maxey. You could have had, maybe you could have got Sharp. Maybe you could have got Halliburton. Like you could have had all of these other assets, but you blew the money. Like you fucked the money off. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's things you could have done. Even with Brandon, you could have moved Brandon for Scoot. Or even if you wanted Brandon Miller, I was a Scoot person, but if let's say you wanted Brandon Miller, you could, because Charlotte was interested in Brandon. You could have moved Brandon for Brandon Miller and tradable salary and possibly a future pick. So like, it's so many things you could have done that would have like made you could have expanded the deal and just kept flipping the assets, flipping the assets, flipping the assets. But they just kept making. That's why, man, people be lying, dog. Down the sea could have had Dyson. People be lying, dog. People like, well, Griff's built a great team. It's like great. Great is such a. I mean, it's relative. I mean, I don't know what you mean by that, because like on the real, when I look at OKC, it's only one superstar on that team. They just hit home runs on virtually all their picks. They missed on maybe two, but they hit home runs. I mean, Chet you can't really miss on that, right? You got both of the Jalen Williamses. You got Dort, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was drafted by them. Like they just got Caruso for nothing. They just got Hartenstein like in free agency, if I'm not mistaken. They got all these lower cost guys for next to nothing. Yo, man, y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Don't this look like if let me see if it's still on here? It might not be on here no more. Is it gone? Yeah, the picture gone. I was about to say, man, this dude look just like Caruso. But shout out to D-Boy, man. He said putting yourself in slim ball shoe. wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Maybe let me slow down reading this. What did I just say? Say putting yourself in the slim ball shoes. Okay. I think I know what you're saying. Would you trade Zion? If so, for what? Yeah, absolutely. I trade Zion. For me, if you want, I can't really give you a name necessarily, but I would say if I could get some salary, a prospect, and maybe slime ball. Oh, I got what you're saying. Slime ball. At first, I was like, what you trying to say? I didn't know you was speaking like you was from Philly or something. Talking about that dude. For Zion, man, I'm looking. You gotta get a player. You gotta get a player like a prospect. You gotta go for something that's similar to the Paul George to the Clippers deal. You got to get a really good prospect like they got with Shea, and you got to get at least. Damn, you got to try to get at least 2 firsts and a swap. You got to try. You know what I'm saying? You got to try. Like Zion just never played, man. That's the thing, bro. That's the issue right there. Homie never played. If he was still a problem, but he actually played, you can live with it. But the fact that he never plays, that makes it so much more difficult to really evaluate where his trade at. But trust me, a team like Chicago, like there's teams like in the Eastern Conference who like, man, he act like that with y'all. He wouldn't act like that here. There are teams that feel like if we traded for Zion, he would behave here. He would play every game here. Like, let's say Golden State, right? Golden State, like, man, we fixed Steph Curry's ankles. We can fix Zion. You know, there's teams like that have a history of like reclamation projects and have a history of just doing things the quote unquote right way, more or less. But I don't see Justin say hard to imagine, but the what ifs in the draft. Yeah, it's really a crapshoot, man. For me, I'm kind of one of them people that just feel like whoever you drafted here, if they wasn't like a super self-starter with solid off the court habits, they just wouldn't. They wouldn't succeed here, man. That's just my belief. I don't know. Some people probably feel differently. I just feel like the organization just, man, it's just so many things that go on with this team, bro. That's just y'all have no idea. Well, y'all might. New Orleans is a small city. Yeah, it just have no idea, man. Let me see. I believe that the Pelicans. Shout out to Sports and 3-2-1s. I believe the Pelicans have a good team, but the injuries giving us hell. Yeah, I mean, that's true. You look, having so many injuries to so many of your quote unquote core players at the same time is never a good thing, right? But when Zion and Brandon were healthy, and those are the two players that matter the most, still wasn't good. Like the team still wasn't winning. You still starting a rookie at center. I don't care how promising he's been. Like Eves isn't like a super like defensive stalwart. You needed a real starting center. You didn't get it. You needed more shooting. You didn't get it. So those guys can mask a lot of mistakes at their best, but they didn't start the season at their best. So that's why you started so slow out of the gates, in my opinion. Brad Ford says Zion for Brandon Miller and at least a first. I do that. I'll probably do that. Well, Brandon Miller, he hurt now, but I would probably do that. I think Brandon Miller's gonna be very good. They're gonna be very good. We got B up in here. He say, what type of centers should hypothetically work well with Zion? Should we trade BI for a decent backup power forward bench pieces at this point? I ain't gonna lie, man. I would shout to B for that. I ain't gonna hold you. I trade Brandon for John Collins today. John Collins in salary. I don't care what comes with the John Collins thing. There's John Collins salary. John Collins is a rotational big. The pairing would work well with Zion. I think you're not building the team. To me, you're not building the team around Zion because Zion kind of succeeds no matter who's on the court with him. He succeeds individually. To me, I would just start building a team that actually makes sense. I would get a center with some hands, like who could catch the ball. Get a center who could finish at the rim effectively. You know what I'm saying? John Collins, solid contract. Can get some blocks, can finish above the rim, makes his free throws, shooting incredibly from beyond the arc right now. I'm trying to think, because I want to give you a name for that question. Miles Turner, people throw around Miles Turner's name, but Miles Turner doesn't really rebound well. So I think in an ideal scenario, you just get a real power forward and you pair that real power forward with Messi or whoever. So in that case, it would still be John Collins. And you move Zion probably down to the 2. Positions don't really exist in basketball anymore, but it would be a lineup of, let's say, DeJounte, Zion, Trey, John Collins, and Messi in theory. You got 2 really good shooters. You got DeJounte out there, and you got Messi who could probably give you some vertical spacing. He makes his free throws. You got to see how he develops. He's a really good free throw shooter, so maybe he develops somewhat of a mid-range game. But I think the idea of the perfect center for Zion, I'm not sure that exists. I think you just got to get a guy with certain skill sets like a John Collins. I think he has to have those John Collins skill sets. Whoa, what up, Lauren? How you doing? Rob McCoy said, Kyra dropped 53 points in the Siberian League. I hope you can make it home, Kyra. They're going to keep your ass for doing that over there. You're like, no, you can't go. We fucking around with the Siberian mob money. Tennessee, you say Brandon gonna get them a couple seconds? Yeah, I think so as well, bro. I really do. I think so as well. He said, yo, is Wendell Carter Jr. a prospect at this point? I think he has to be. The only thing with Wendell Carter Jr.'s contract is that he signed it actually in the preseason. It's so crazy, y'all. He signed it in the preseason. Well, it was announced in the preseason right after the Pelicans game, and he got hurt in that game. He hurt his ankle. I thought he had tore his Achilles, but he hurt his ankle in that game, and then they announced his contract extension. He'd be a prospect, but I want you to look at the dude Santi who playing for Memphis right now, because I know one of y'all mentioned would Memphis have some interest in Brandon. I think they would have some interest in Brandon if they had interest in Cam Johnson. Had some reported interest in Jimmy Butler. I don't see Brandon being too far down that list. I think they would have some interest in Brandon. The Pelicans have done trade business with them before, i.e. Trey Murphy, Steven Adams, Zaire Williams. So they may have some interest. And if I'm Griff, I'm trying to get Santi in that deal. Shout out to Jim Selma with that dub, big dog. I appreciate you.
This woman obviously had lost her damn mind. She needs psychotropic medication. She pulls out her breasts and she's juggling them. Look like she's about to fall over. Then she bends over and pulls down her panties. spreads her cheeks. I'm not lying. I'm telling you what's on the video. Spreads her cheeks. This is madness.
It really is. He said, play get the funk out my play get the funk out your face. At the Pelicans fans, get the funk out of my face. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm waiting on the Twitter. Like, when y'all gonna start saying something positive about Brandon getting traded or CJ getting traded or somebody getting traded from the Pelicans? Because y'all talking about everybody else. Y'all ain't never got nothing good to say about us making no trades. God damn. The Pelicans like to play their cards close to their chest, but bruh, we ain't having no good news. Jesus. He said, Ryan said Nas Reed or Brook Lopez would be perfect with Zia Portis. Yeah, Brook Lopez would probably, man, Brook Lopez at like 29 or even at 30, 31 would be super good with Zion. He sets serious screens, good rebounder, physical, can finish anywhere on the court pretty much. Hell of a player. Nas Reed is an upcoming, he's a pending free agent. Now, he may or may not be playing himself out of a really good contract because I don't know what Minnesota is going to end up doing with Julius Randle. I don't think there's going to be a lot of takers for Randle. And they traded Cat so they could pay Nas Reed. And Nas Reed and Randle don't fit together on the court. That's why they've been finishing with Nas Reed instead of Randle. So I'm not sure what's going to end up happening with that. But Nas Reed, he may be gettable. He may be gettable for a team like the Nets. Trying to think, a lot of teams can use Nas Reed. And any team you use Nas Reed. That's why they say Jason Smith. Jason Smith, y'all think I'm bullshitting. Jason Smith will be balling in the Pelicans right now for the Pelicans. He's for Lawrence say sleeping on Jonathan Isaac. I think Jonathan Isaac will be really good here. Truthfully, a healthy Jonathan Isaac is an intimidating defender, bro. Like, when I watched this dude, when I watched him last season versus the Pelicans, this dude wingspan is so crazy. It's like it's really intimidating. It's really intimidating. Like dude can spook you. If you're not like a really crafty finisher around the rim, he would scare you. But he's another dude that he don't really be playing too much. You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to Young Prospect. He said, yeah, man, I'm just kicking it with the people, man. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all dealing with that snow. So I thought I'd come through and show some love, man. Just hollering at the family, seeing what's going on. Let me see what's going on right now. Let's check the scores. So Memphis look like they about to win. Minnesota look like they about to win this game versus Dallas. Dallas got a bunch of injuries right now too. So they looking like they about to win this game. We see Sabonis ideal offensively, but a bad fit defensively. Man, I feel like Sabonis is really a power forward. I really do feel like Sabonis is a power forward. Who only 25, Tennessee? Who you talking about? Now, I like Jabari Smith too, Flight Mizar. Like, to me, that's the ideal, like, if I like a person who may or may not be available, to me, that's the ideal starting five. Because he got the height, got the wingspan, probably need to gain about another 10, 15 pounds of muscle. But he's also a quality shot blocker. He can defend his space along the perimeter. Go check out his footage last year when Sagoon was out. Yo, Jabari was balling, starting at the 5. That's who I really wanted them to go after this offseason. I know they made the call for Sagoon and they got hung up on, but I'm hoping that they say, yo, what about Jabari? And Jabari's injured right now, so it's a win-win. So you can trade for him. You ain't got to worry about him messing up your tank. And, to me, it's a win-win. We'll see, though. He said, Cole said B.I. would take the ball out of Jai's hands, so I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I think with Bane starting to cool down, though, and Zaire never really taking that step. Like, a couple of dudes never really took the next step also. I'm not sure Zaire even still there, honestly. But with Bane starting to cool down, they really do need a second option. Because you counting on Kennard. They traded Xavier Tillman. So you counting on Kennard and Jaren Jackson Jr. to just play out of their minds. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Smart barely getting any run. I think he might even still be hurt. He's not getting no run at all. So they could really use a real second to third option. But what you're saying make a lot of sense because I can't see Brandon running in transition and moving the ball and shit like that. He also probably take the ball out of Jai hands in the clutch. You say Eves could be a great development as a superstar if he hit the weights more and develop a post move. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Pelicans do got a terrible strength and conditioning program right now. Like, dudes just everybody look malnourished. I don't know what's going on, man. I do not know what's going on. He said, why can't we find a damn Sanders? We had him, though. We had Nicolo Misi, though. We let Misi go, man. That's a damn shame what they did. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. People, man, Trajan Langdon was trash. Trajan Langdon was not good here. People like Trajan Langdon really turned it around. It's the worst fucking team in the league. It's easy to turn that team around. Trajan Langdon was not good here. He was not. He was not. He wasn't. I totally disagree with people who be saying that. Whoa, what's up, Dane? How you doing? How y'all doing, man? Shout out to everybody again. Make sure y'all being safe out there on the roads. He said, but Misi could be a good center in a few years. I think Misi could be a quality center as soon as next year. Truthfully, James. He's got to keep developing, keep doing this thing, keep getting stronger. He gotta get better instincts defensively, though. I think Misi gets away with a lot of goaltends, and he just gotta get better defensively, because if you look at the points the Pelicans are giving up at the rim, yeah, it starts along the perimeter, but that also means that they don't have a rim deterrent protecting the paint, and I think that's a bit of the issue with Misi. Yo, Lito says 77 likes with 136 people watching. Appreciate you, big dog. Hey, look, that's one and number two. It's one and number two. Here we go.
Charles is my name. Jewel Curl is my fame. You can be elite to know. I'm your hairdresser who really knows. You're gonna have a curl.
All right, now if I gotta lay the law down, I'll lay the law down. Justin ain't here to save nobody. I had to lay the law down. Shout out to Jim Selman. Jim, was you the person in the chat? And you was like, man, switch it to a song with some bass. Was that you, Jim Chelmy? He said, please change your songs. 2750 song for Brothers Johnson Epic. I think if that was you, Jim, I think you said that, and Donald was like, man, y'all better leave 2750 alone. Y'all 2750 cold. That's a cold cut. I might get that shit on vinyl. Say how you do curls from 8 to 12 a.m. Look, you might need a fresh curl before you hit the club. You might need a fresh curl. You know what I'm saying? It's 9:30. You outside. Boom, 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 boom. Jarrell! Hey, sit on that motherfucking iron, and you get the curling. Shout out to Jarrell, man. The original Soul Glow. Young Prospect say that song ain't punishment. Yo, I don't look, man. Look, Justin got a bunch of Griff OnlyFans videos on here. I ain't trying to go that far. I ain't Joe Jackson. I ain't trying to punish y'all to that level, but don't test me. Don't test me. Don't test my patience. He say, Zillion Grind said, will they make the playoffs? What team you talking about there, brother? You talking about Dallas? I know. Who you talking about? Clarify that, Zillion. $1 Grind Entertainment. Who you talking about, bro? I don't think you're talking about the Pelicans. You said that is you, Jim Self? Yeah, Donald was like, fuck all that. Yo, Ben Mathurin, dog. Lauren could tell you, I really want the Pelicans to draft Ben Mathurin in that Dyson Daniels draft, dog. It's funny because he became more of like a traditional scorer versus a shooter, a pure shooter. Like that jumper just ain't really falling like I thought it would at this level. It's only his third year, so it could come around. But yo, him or Naismith and Turner for Brandon would be a dream trade for me. If you could get Turner and Naismith or Ben Mathurin to me, man, you do that immediately, bro. Like if you can make that happen some kind of way, you do that immediately. Even if you got to throw Hawkins in the deal, you got to whatever you got to do almost to make that happen, do that shit, man. Because, to me, now you're gambling on upside. If Ben Mathurin, let's say Ben Mathurin becomes Malik Monk, you know what I'm saying? That's a win. It's a win. Naismith already cold. He just coming back from that ankle injury that he got hurt at the Pelicans, just now coming back. But Naismith, Very, very, very quality rotational player. Can drop 20 in any given night. He can ball. And the Pacers are already a team that showed that they're not afraid to take those type of risks with the Pascal Siakam deal. Like, they probably feel like, yo, Brandon played well. Well might be a stretch. He was well, these are the numbers from the FIBA tournament. All right, so he didn't play well, but he played a little bit better with Therese Halliburton. Played a little bit serviceable. Nah, I don't want to go that far. He was he didn't kill you. He played like, he didn't kill you when he was playing with Therese Halliburton. So, hey, they might say, yo, we saw something there. We saw something there, and we can make this work. So, Pacers, he could be yours. He could be yours. Shout out to my dog Zeke. He said best guess for Western Conference standings for next year. Man, I just don't see OKC going away, dog. I think OKC got it again for number one. Then I think the Rockets probably got it for number two. I think I don't know what's gonna happen with the Pelicans, dog, but I think the top two is gonna be OKC and the Rockets, or vice versa. Because, man, them dudes got some young talent, bro. And Shea just getting better and better. Jalen Green, he taking that next step. Now, here's the thing, though. That Rockets team could look a lot different this offseason if they do end up moving Devin Booker. And that may make the team start off a little slower out of the gates. So something like that is always a possibility. And, hey, same for OKC. Because they move Booker, they moving Kevin Durant. So imagine OKC got Kevin Durant and Houston got Devin Booker. It'll be like, man, it'll be some annoying ass shit. Let me see what y'all talking about. Shout out to Michael Morgan, man, with the 2 pieces. Say, do you think the Pelicans will make a trade? I do. They have no choice but to make a trade to get under the tax. They're not going to forfeit that nearly $20 million to Gail Benson. So that's in the bag. Now, the question is, who goes in that scenario? Because if, like I explained earlier, if they believe that they're only about 800 G's over the tax because of the situation with DeJounte Murray's contract, you may see them move a minimum guy and leave it at that. Maybe they move Javonte Green for some seconds, something along that line. I think you see them move at least 2 players, though. I think you see them move at least 2 players because they also got to create that spot for Brandon Boston, and they got to create room for his contract, if I'm not mistaken. Michael Washington said 20 million. Somebody got to go. Yeah, they're not gonna let that 20 million just evaporate like that. They're gonna take that payoff. It's crazy that we all gotta realize, bro, this is a luxury tax team. This is a luxury tax team. You're in the tax right now. You're in the tax right now. You know what I'm saying? In the tax right now. So, Gail Benson, I'm probably pay the tax for what? Be an apron team for what? Y'all always hurt. Y'all can't get nothing popping. Yeah, they $3.5 million in the tax. And with DeJounte's signing thing, his bonus for playing over 65 games, I think that can knock him down to roughly about 800, 900 G's. And then you just got to move a minimum guy, but you still got to sign Brandon Boston. So they gotta make things happen. What's up, Bad Juju? How you doing? Say answer Jim. What you said, Jim? You said, oh, will you play my song, Chaz? I spent 25 hours. Will you do it or not? Wait, let me go back to the song. Please play my song for all my Pelicans fans. You know what, Jim? I got you. Brother Johnson's Epic. Let me see if I can download your song. Brother Johnson's Epic. I got you. Brandon Boston Cole. They say, yeah, they're not playing Brandon Boston right now because of his situation with the two-way. Wait, now this ain't no type of. Let me see. Let me read that title again. Brother Johnson's Epic. This ain't nothing freaky, is it? Brother Johnson's Epic. That could be interpreted a couple of ways. Brother Johnson's epic. Hold on. Let me Google it real quick. See, we get the people what they want around here, man. Wait. Oh, the Brothers Johnson. It's on epic. I got you. Hold on. Let me see. First thing they got that game. Yeah, man. Wait, damn. Wait, only 50 games can be played for Brandon Boston? Hey, man, we might not see a lot of Brandon Boston down the stretch, y'all, until they get that situation together. And Brandon was playing, but you know what? The timing of it makes sense as well because he was also dealing with that knee injury. He was also oh, wait, damn. I just thought of something, Jim Selma. I can't play that song because I'll get a copyright strike. We can't play like other artists' songs. He's like get a copyright strike. What I would do, I'll look and see if I can find a cover for you, and I'll upload that and try to play that. But I can't do it tonight. But we can't play other people's songs. We'll get a copyright strike. That's why I don't play my songs on here. I'm gonna sue y'all. I'm waiting. Accidentally play one of my songs. I'm suing. Shout out to Game Osborne. 2 more likes till we hit 100, y'all. He said they should sign him to a full 2-year deal. Yeah, I think he's gonna get that. Especially, wait, hold on. You say, oh, my bad, dog. I ain't see you. You say, hold on, brother. I had to file it. My bad, homie. Let me see what you got. My bad. Well, yeah. I don't even see you, big round. You gotta. I don't even think you hit send. But you ain't got to send no super chat. You got a question, man. What's your question? Holler at me. Yeah, the bots, man. What happened last show? What happened last show with all these bots and all that shit? Like, that was kind of crazy. He said, get Beans to play the cover on piano. You know what? I'm going to hit up Beans and see if he can do that for y'all. I'm going to holler at Beans and see if I can make that happen. Strawberry Letter. Wait, what you say? He said, Brother Johnson, Strawberry Letter 23 classic. I got to check it out. Hit the like button like the weak ass parlays. Bruh, I ain't hit a parlay in this calendar year. Wait, Prophet, what they say? Somebody said your music trash while they don't play it, Chaz. Hey, I'm going to say like my dog. Shout out to my dog, Munchie B. Free Munchie B. You're lying, bro. Not you, Prospect, but tell that person to delete themselves because you're lying, bro. Would you get mad if they got rid of Green? Devontae or Willie? I wouldn't be mad if they got rid of neither. I wouldn't be upset if they got rid of neither. I expected more from Javonte this year, truthfully. I kind of got caught up in the hype of how he was performing with the Chicago Bulls. And when he got here, it was just he's been underwhelming. Playing better as of late, but like the last game he had 2 points. But he's good for like a couple steals here and there. I mean, again, it's like anything with the Pelicans. You bring these guys onto the team to be rotational and to add on to what your stars are doing. But then you find them in a situation to where they're, here to be. Now they got to be a starter. Like, Javonte Green should never start. Now you got Javonte Green as a serious rotation player. He should be a coach's decision DNP some nights. He shouldn't have to play. And the fact that he is starting now, and it just goes to show you how the back end of this roster has been built, and that's what you get with minimum guys. Sometimes they're going to be productive, sometimes they aren't. Say trade Green for Najee back. I think Najee got the flu again or something. He out right now for Dallas. Justin, you said you thought he could take Najee's role. I think we all did, right? We all thought he would just join on and take Najee's role. You know who the guy was to take Najee's role? Not necessarily in the things that Najee does, but just in the production, like it get you some points, can do a couple things. It was Matt Ryan. It was always Matt Ryan. It was Matt Ryan, man. Matt Ryan on this team is averaging about 9 points. I'm telling y'all, Matt Ryan on this team averaged about 9 points. Wait, how to back end? Pardon me. I got to pause myself. I think I said how to back end of the roster. I don't know if I said that, but if I did say that, pardon me. I paused myself. I apologize for that. Kings wasn't moving Keon Ellis. Nah, Keon Ellis is beloved over there. Like the team be like the arena. I know we can't really compare because our arena be empty. but their arena be full, and they be like, man, we want Keon. We like they really like Keon Ellis over there. For real, for real. B, you say probability Zion makes it to 2028 if next season is a play-in spot record. If Gail, do you allow Griffin? No, well, this is a good question to end on. This is a good question to end on. I don't want David Griffin making any watershed trades. By watershed trades, I mean Zion or Trey Murphy. I think he should be restricted. I was gonna say handcuffed, but you know, Griff, hey, like his bald head starts sweating or some shit. Say, I don't think Zion is here in 2028. Period. Truthfully, I think you're going by like the next 2 years. But I don't think David Griffin. I think you go into this offseason and let whoever you hire as like the new GM, or if you give Bryson a permission, or if you hire someone to oversee David Griffin, if you do like a team audit or something like that, you let them make the decision on Zion or a Trey Murphy. Not that you're trying to move Trey Murphy. I'm just saying in general. You let them make that decision. You don't let Griffin trade this upcoming first round pick. You don't let him trade Zion. You don't let him trade Trey Murphy. Truthfully, I wouldn't even let him hire the next head coach. I think you make a team decision, you get an outside audit done, and you hold a widespread coaching interview process and audition. Me, I like the idea of bringing in Chris Quinn from the Miami Heat, but I think you cast a wide net and you pick the best options. Because look, there's Cleveland and Detroit, and not really LA, but Cleveland and Detroit, they had a real interview process. Chose between 3 or 4 people, working out for Cleveland. Detroit, interview process, chose between 2 and 3 people, working out for Detroit. The Lakers, they just gave a motherfucker the job. That's why I ain't working out with them. New Orleans, it seemed like we just gave Willie Green the job, honestly. That's why I ain't working out with us. But that's been today's show, man. Y'all please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I just want to holler at y'all, show y'all some love, man. And be safe, man. Don't play around with that snow. Don't play around with that ice. And let's get one for the road, man. Let's just get one for the road.
Santa baby, the slip was stable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby. Just hurry down the chimney tonight.
This guy is nuts. This guy is insane. Like, hey, for $9.99, Griff got a bunch of videos like that on his OnlyFans from what I was told. But I'm out, y'all. Be safe. Peace.